scissors, pliers, clippers, strippers, crimpers, Olfa knives, and well, let's throw this guy in there too. Solder sucker. This is my hobo tool collection, a bunch of weird shaped tools that kind of migrate around the bench asking other tools for money. Don't you think I don't know you do it?
I ain't no hobo, you stupid jackwagon.
And I'm kind of getting sick of having these things just lying around all the time, so what I think we should do is get them off the street and find them a home.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do, smart guy? Last time we tried this, you stuck a magnet to my head and slapped me on a metal board.
Yeah, fair enough. That was a bit of a crap idea, but mostly because it just scrambles their brains. In fact, all of the solutions that involve hanging them or laying them flat just take up too much space, so we're not going that direction. If we're going to minimize the amount of bench space we're going to use, I think racking them up something like this is going to maximize our efficiency here. I also think we need a little room to grow in case I get another weird-ass looking tool. It'll immediately have a place to live. The Star Trek mini screwdriver holder turned out to be FAB, so I'm thinking maybe we should use the same kind of profile for our tool rack. Now, to make this tool rack as versatile as possible, I thought we should go with a cartridge-based system. So I've whipped up this here Kajigger in FreeCAD, which you'll be delighted to find out does not suck donkeys anymore. Yeah, it's actually quite usable. So if you're looking for a FreeCAD package, then FreeCAD might be the way to go here. Basically what we've got here is a tube, and what you would do is grab your tool and you would put it into this slot here. And that's why this channel ain't for kids. And then this whole cartridge thing would fit into the rack. Well, that produces a satisfying schlunk. I think we can work with that. Perhaps we should fire off a few more. You know, I'm beginning to think there might be some sort of force of nature that prevents me from getting things right on the first try. So I'd already made up one set of these, and then when I fired them together, like that, easy to get out, nice. What the? I know that one fits. Ah! Oh, for fuck's sake. So what was going on is I didn't have enough clearance in between the tools. It doesn't take a lot, but I didn't have nearly enough. And that was resulting in the tools rubbing up against each other, and not in a sexy kind of way either. The generic slotty hole seems to work pretty good for most of the tools, but not all of them. These guys would just wobble around in the slot, so I had to make a little special adapter for it, and that fits quite nicely now. So some of them are going to need a little extra attention. Clearly I'm having trouble mocking up some sort of rack for this thing, or like not real rack, fake rack, so I can test it. This seems to be okay. Let's load it up and see what happens. Where are you? You are this. Oh, I can already tell we're going to have a problem here. This is actually quite heavy on the, on the front side here. So maybe we're going to have trouble with actually not having the rack completely tip over. Can probably mitigate that by, raising the angle a bit. Now, granted, this thing is kind of on an axis, but I think it illustrates that there might be an issue. So we'll try and build that into the next model so that we, can mitigate it. Hopefully. Balls. So I'd worked out this earlier, and it's, very similar shape to the screwdriver holder, almost the same size too. And this is the side view, obviously, and then the cartridge would kind of fit in there like that, and then the tool in there. So obviously there's quite a bit of weight on this end, but does that flip the whole thing? My intuition tells me absolutely nothing about this. I just can't figure this out. Whoa, it's always a bit shocking when my brain does something that isn't just designed to embarrass me. This is the old screwdriver holder rack, and the cartridges don't fit, that's fine, but we can kind of mock it up anyway with this thing. So these are my heaviest tools, and no problem. I think if we even put more weight on there, do I have anything more I could put on it? Sure, like this, for example. Put it right at the end. Even that's not enough to tip it over, so I really think we're okay here. 8 inches only. Whoa, we're gonna have to do better than that if we don't want this thing to have self-esteem issues. So let's bump her up to 12 here, and that should give us plenty of room to grow. I still have a nice piece of what I figure is cherry left over from the screwdriver project, and this is a piece of IKEA, old IKEA, before they started making everything out of cardboard and stickers. So we can use this for the faceplate and this for the rest of it, and hopefully it, you know, looks okay at the end. All right, well, let's start with the side pieces here. I just redrew this and simplified the dimensions a little bit. So we can cut this out of a 4x5 piece of wood, and then we just have to like nip off these pieces, which means we need to know what these angles are. And actually, now that I look at it, they look the same. Just, this is a scale drawing, so I don't know. Are they? We can use what we can use. Tangent, is it? Opposite over adjacent. So 2 over, this would be a 4, so that's a half. This is a half over 3, which is a half. It's almost like I planned it that way. I actually didn't. So I think I just got lucky there. So these are actually the same angles. That's going to make things quite a bit easier, actually. So let's put this on a piece of wood, cut it out, see what happens. Okay, let's start by trying to cut this out.
Just a word of caution here. You don't want to be learning woodworking from that moron. You're liable to lose a limb or at the very least one or more. Oh my God. Lockjaw. Son of a bitch. Ah. Where was I? Oh yeah, you're liable to lose a limb or at the very least one or more vital organs. Oh my God, again. Oh.
Here is my high precision miter gauge. What we need to do is cut that there, which is something, you know, like that. Could just eyeball it, but that doesn't seem like a good idea. Wait, I got an idea. Aha. Let's see here. Figure this out properly. Clamp one. Here we go. Okay, so I just have it like lined up with that line. Seems like a good way of doing it. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very, very good. Just a slightly off on that, but again, the angles are going to be the same on both of these, so it probably doesn't matter. What does it look like in comparison to this? I think I can live with that. Thought I should treat myself to a new fence, being my birthday and all. It's not my birthday. All right, let's try this for real. I've got a couple pieces of 4-inch IKEA here. So we'll just cut that first angle and move on from there. Okay, so those are fine. The second step is going to be to cut it down to the 5 inches along this direction. So I'll just measure that out. I'm going to put a stop block here. Just nudge that up there. And then lock this down. And then for the second piece, here we go. This should be it. And that's good there. Oh yeah, very nice. Okay, last angle. So we're doing something like this. We're gonna do the same stop block trick. So again, even if the angles are, you know, a little wonky, these pieces will be the same. Ugh. It's a little too close for comfort, but what can you do? Just like that. Okay. Here we go. Okay, that's one. Again. And let's see how we made out. Oh, that's good, good, good. Very nice. We're all right. I'm gonna cut out the top and the back first, put that together, and then we'll think about this business here. Yeah, I know I probably said something about this being 12 inches long, but I'm gonna compensate for the inset side pieces and make it, well, I'm making it 14, okay? We'll just accept it. So I'm just trying to figure out how long the top piece has to be. So it should be around 4 1/8. Ah, you're both beautiful, but I think we'll take this side. Oh shit. That's not good. Damn you, IKEA, and your pre-drilled holes. I have no solution for that, and I don't have another piece, so I guess I'm filling it in with putty. Excellent. All right, now I'm going to cut these angles here, and now that I think of it, I probably should have cut them first, but too late now. We'll just have to be very, very careful so we don't change the dimensions of that board. So if you do the math, that angle is 26.5 degrees, so we're gonna have to do that. I shouldn't do it on this first. Let's do a test piece and then go from there. How does that work exactly? I guess something like this. And that looks pretty good. 26.5 it is. We're gonna have to really make sure that we just come and nick that corner there ever so barely. Maybe I'll just like sneak it up until I get it right. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, we're losing a bit. Oh, shit. Oh. Well, I might have lost a tiny bit there. I did. Which means we have to just take this down a bit, which isn't easy either. Ah! I scrounged up another piece of wood. It's not nearly as nice or as European as the IKEA stuff, but should do. And besides, it's on the back, so if you're constantly looking at the back side of this thing, then it's you that's got the problem, not me. Well, I'll be damned. I was just looking at that thing and that one doesn't even have a back on it. Well, I've gotten this far. Let's do it anyway. Okay, I'm gonna cut the angle first this time. Pro tip, lock down your fence. You're not gonna find that kind of information on other channels, believe me. Yeah, I'm starting to think my fence isn't straight. I think I'm gonna fix that before I go on. All right, I think I got it fixed. It was out by a 1/16th, you know, like not a lot, but it makes a difference. so close. I don't want to do it again. I really don't. I feel like I'll screw it up if I do it another time. I'm just going to leave it. Oh, and I guess we have to do this one. Oh, I wonder if I can take some of that off on there. I think I will. Okay, again, we're in the same position where this is exactly the right size, and, you know, try not to screw this one up this time. Well, I got pretty lucky on that one. It's almost exactly right. First try, wow. There, like that. It's not terrible. I think it's all right. Oh God, why do I do this to myself? All right, so just eyeballing it, it seems like it's gonna fit together fairly well. So I'm gonna glue her down, and then we'll fix any flaws in post-production. Fortunately, I saved the offcuts from the cutting these pieces here because these wedges are useful for clamping. Otherwise, it's going to be damn difficult to make that happen. There's a fun little circus act for you. I did want to mention that you should always check to make sure your corners are half-ass square. Otherwise, you'll be sad later. Other than that, just let her dry and see what she looks like, eh? What the hell is going on here? I have absolutely no recollection of doing that or why I would even bother to do something like that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Well, it glued up just fine, but you know, it's not outstanding, that's for sure. You got a little lip here that's got to come off. And a little putty. Make this thing look nice, and we'll go from there. But it'll do. Gonna mix up a bit of it. Oh, I'm gonna mix up a bit of this He-Man wood putty here. Rock hard. It's Woodworker's Viagra, I guess. Maybe I should be eating this stuff. I don't know. And then we'll use that to fill these holes. Yeah, well, this is starting to look a bit like a paint grade project. So maybe we'll just slap a faceplate on there and move on. Well, rather than making myself too crazy, I think what I'll do is to just scab some pieces around the edge, making sure there's a nice slot for these cartridges. Don't forget to keep your wedges. They're very useful. So, you know, not my best work, but then again, whatever is. Let's throw some paint on this and get to the fun bit. Loading the cartridges. Hi, Captain. She's primed and ready to go. We're going to do this in a sexy satin black, and I've been assured there's no runs, no drips, and no errors. Oh, hold my beer. I think I can make that happen.
What the hell? Where's my cherry faceplate, bozo? I thought the thing was supposed to look nice.
Hey, what can I tell you? There were some, you know, complications.
And that's the best you can do? What are you, like 8 years old? Again, this show isn't for kids. It's all we can do to keep ourselves from berating them and make them feel bad. Not that they don't deserve it, though, they do.
So what do we figure? Colossal failure or minor embarrassment? Could go either way.
Well, since you're asking, speaking of someone who's going to have to spend the majority of their time with their head stuffed in one of your dirty slots, that's not as fun as it sounds. I know it sounds fun, but trust me, it's not. I'm hoping this thing is a dumpster fire. So suck on that, dingus. Ha!
All right, let's load her up. I'll try and do this in some sort of meaningful order here. Everybody in the right orientation, I think, for the most part. Let's see what we got. Hey, not bad, maybe, except everything's a little tight together. However, we do have a bunch of space here, so, you know, we could put some spacers in between each of them. I think that might be fun. Un momento, por favor. There we have it, a few spacers. Let's throw these in some, you know, appropriate places, I guess. So, oh yes, and the screwdriver goes right there. So far so good, I guess. This one's a little tippy. Works nice. Can deal with that. Scissors. Oh, we got a little bit of bindy here. These really need to be tightened up quite a bit, even though the spacers don't leave a hell of a lot of extra room. Is there a cheap and easy way of doing that? I think I may know something. Hang on. It's always a good idea to have a fistful of shims hanging around. There's pretty much nothing they can't do. Although these ones are kind of sucky. Holy, brand new pack. I say that because they're not very shimmy on the one end. All right, so what we're going to do here, I think, is just shim this. And something like that. Nice and tight. Is this cheating? I think it is. That's okay. Ain't too proud. Okay, and then the other side, what do we got here? Something like that. That should do it. All right. Yoink. Just need to cut you off here. Oh, making a mess. Making a mess. Oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Ah. Okay. Okay. This is a total freak show. Okay, just wait. It's getting worse and worse. Everything's going to hell. Yeah, I'm gonna put legs on it anyway. Not legs. You know, those little rubbery things. Keep it from sliding around. Okay. Everything's pretty much dumped out, but let's put her back the way she came. All right, we're getting there. Okay, let's try that trick again where you pull them out and see what happens. Okay, much better. Nobody's going anywhere. All right, I like it. Let's put it in a production environment and see how she looks. Not that I produce anything, but you know, someday maybe. Holy old crap. What the hell, dude? Speaking of dumpster fires, I don't think your little tool rack is going to solve this kind of problem. All right, that's better. I still hate you, though. All right, so that's it, people. We're calling this one done. What can I tell you? I like it. It's nice, you know? All satin black, every color of the rainbow. What's not to like? Especially the old Olfa knife slots. Ooh, those are sexy. I love those. You could just have a whole rack of them. You know, it would just be beautiful. Anyway, let's call this one finished. And I guess we should put Crimpy away. No! Three little son of a... gonna get you, son of a bitch. Don't worry, he'll calm down. Calm down, my ass. I'll just stay stupid, damn it. You know,